So there are 26 different types of ethnic minorities here in Tongren, and we've got 3 of them right now. They're famous for being excellent dancers, as you can see, and excellent singers. Now we've got the Tujia, the Dong, and the Miao. Can you guess which one is which? So let me give you one hint. It's the way they paint their nails. Now, of course, I'm kidding. It's the clothes that they wear. Have a look.
The rich variety of clothing worn by the minorities of Guizhou province offer you a visual feast on a daily basis. Here, the clothing is as much a social and ethnic denominator as it is a decoration. What a woman is wearing can tell you whether she is married or not, what her social status and wealth are, as well as the level of her weaving and embroidery. And above all, if we're going to be honest, they look awesome. Tongren has a complex geological makeup, including the features of the outstanding karst topology. On the whole, the terrain in the central area is lower than that of the surrounding areas, even though most of the land in the Tongren region is mountainous. Much like the city of Jiangjia in Hunan province, which is often likened to Tongren, it boasts an abundance of natural resources. Its distinctive geology has produced a marvelous topography characterized by quartz sandstone, forests and valleys. Although the infrastructure still leaves a lot to be desired, what there is manages to fit in with the natural scenery, which has largely been spared the usual ravages brought about by the assault from tourists. Make your way across to one of the jewels of the Tongren landscape. That is the Tiansheng Chao, which translates as naturally born bridge. The story goes that over 100 years ago, the local people began to hear strange sounds from the gorge. Being highly superstitious, they gradually began to vacate the area. It turned out that the sound was in fact the synchronized vibration of the air caused by the movement of the river below. But at least it's left it all free for us. Its purpose now is more than simply to please the eye. In 2007, the area was turned into a reservoir. These days, you can take a boat out and admire the beautiful and imperious surroundings. It's a bit of a trek to get there, but I promise you it'll be worth it. You might just feel like a tiny little ant with a small view of the world, but you'll be surrounded by some of Mother Nature's most wonderful gifts. So don't forget to bring your camera.
Did that look like it was raining? Don't you worry, it's actually not. We've come out about 10 minutes drive from Tongren city centre to a beautiful secluded lagoon that's filled with waterfalls all around. Now, one of the other reasons we came out here was because I've been told about a natural bridge that was formed between 2 very steep cliffs that unfortunately is now buried underwater. I'm going to head into the rain and see if I can find it.
Although it's been turned into a reservoir, it's still a popular place for nature lovers. You'll see plenty of wildlife around you, but probably without zooming around on a boat. You'll get completely different views from up above and at water level. But even if it's just a chance to see the magnificent waterfalls, with at least half a dozen seemingly sprouting up out of nowhere, this place has got to be seen.
好吧。
有响声。
哦，所以你听的时候，
这个响声，这个挂成熟了，可以，这个闻不出来，这个响声可以看出，从外观可以看出来。
哦，是吗？Expert's opinion. I've never really known how to pick a watermelon, and he was saying a lot of it's to do with the size. So if it's a big watermelon, normally it'll taste nice. And I asked him if it would be sweet. He said probably. And also the sound it makes, surprisingly. So he says this one makes a better sound than the others.
20块钱，我做出来真的。哎呀，回来你没有辛苦。
So I've got myself I didn't really have time for the guy to weigh it, but I got myself a nice watermelon. The guy told me it will help. I'm feeling a little bunged up today, so it will help. In China, you'll find a lot of these stalls, like these fruit stalls, on the side of the road. And you can just stop off, get yourself some nice fruit. And it's actually culturally in China, you'll find that at the end of the meal, more often than not, they will serve the wonderful melon.
Well, from water to watermelons and then back to water. We've seen the passion for fishing, but another sport that's a popular amateur pastime here is dragon boating. Wherever you come across a stretch of slow-moving river, you're almost certain to find a bunch of able-bodied men and women in their narrow dragon boats, rowing to the constant beat of a drum. This area is called Ba Huang, and it really is a place where water is arguably the star of the show. But we've done the water, and it's time to now continue our positive tour and head up to arguably the #1 tourist attraction in the Tongren area.
So Fanjing Mountain is an absolute treasure trove of plants and wildlife. We've just chanced upon this rather magnificent waterfall, and in terms of plants, over 80% of the forest here are virgin. Now in terms of wildlife, I've been told that over 800 species of animals have been documented, including the Guizhou golden monkey, which is rare and endangered. I'm going to go and explore and maybe find one.
The biodiversity in the reserve is unparalleled anywhere else on the same latitude. This is one of the best preserved subtropical forest ecosystems in China, with verdant mountains, clear waters, and a diversified wildlife constituting a unique environment. But in truth, we are here as much for our bird and animal watching as we are for this mountain's Buddhist connections. With its rich natural heritage, this place is sacred to Buddhists. There are temples scattered all around, and it's easy to see why it attracts so much interest. It's highly popular with tourists during the summer and autumn, which are without a doubt the best seasons to visit.
So in Buddhism, there are 3 master Buddhas, one for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. And this rather happy-looking chap above me is the one for the future. Now you might also be able to hear a little construction work going on, and that's because the temple is on the verge of completion, which in many ways exemplifies how popular Buddhism still is here and in China as a whole.
It might surprise you to learn that the monk Maitreya, known as the Happy Buddha or Laughing Buddha, is in fact not a Buddha at all, but a bodhisattva, or a Buddha in waiting. He was a companion of the Buddha, designated by him to be his successor. In layman's terms, the system works like this. A Buddha comes and teaches, then over the years, his teachings fade and finally disappear like an echo. Then another Buddha appears to restore the teaching. Succeeding Buddhas are always recognized by their predecessors.
There's a saying that nature shaped the fantastic landscape at Fanjingshan, but it's Buddhism that made it famous. Its reputation as a sacred land for Buddhists can be traced back all the way to the 16th century, and Fanjing actually means pure land of the Buddhists. Now, there's another Buddhist saying which dictates that you need to be full of faith, full of patience, and be able to overcome obstacles if you really want to view the real Buddha. And we've got one such obstacle today, and that is the absolutely dreadful weather that we're having. But we'll see how we get on.
Fanjing Mountain is a holy site for Buddhists, and the religious atmosphere enhances its charm. I don't want to oversell this, but you will be, or you should be, absolutely blown away when you make it to the top. Fanjing Mountain is situated 90 kilometers south of Tongren City, and in truth, our half day up here definitely wasn't enough. Rising like a picture from a Hayao Miyazaki animation, you'll see the temple on the golden summit looking down on you. You can't begin to imagine the work that went into constructing a place like that, so high up and so seemingly inaccessible. But in many ways, it typifies the best things about Tongren. It's mysterious, it's surreal, and it's an effort to get to. But you'll find it an altogether rewarding experience.
So I made it to the top, 8,000 steps. And the cable car on the way up was a bit of a cheat, but still, we beat the weather and an appalling lack of fitness. And I managed to see the Golden Summit. Now, unfortunately, that's all the time we've got left for today, but I really hope you've enjoyed touring Fanjingshan and amongst all, having a look around Tongren. I'm Mark Edwards, and I'll catch you very soon on another episode of Travelogue.